Welcome back. For many of us, the dream of wiping out your mortgage seems impossible, but our next guest did it, and he did it in just 3 years. To tell us how, we're joined by Shawn Cooper, the author of Burn Your Mortgage. Hey there, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you, Jen?
Good, thank you. So how much was your mortgage when you first bought your house in Toronto?
Well, I bought my house in August 2012, and my house was $425,000. I made a down payment of $170,000, so that left me with a mortgage of $255,000, or over a little over $250,000.
And so why did you want to pay it off so quickly?
Well, my inspiration was my mother, because growing up, she was a single mother raising my sister and me, and she lost her job on a couple occasions and almost lost the family home. So I knew I didn't want a big mortgage over my head for the next 25 years, especially with precarious employment being the new norm. So I aimed to pay it off as quickly as possible.
Okay, so you had some good motivation there. So how did you do it? What did you do?
Well, I did it in a couple ways. I boosted my income as well as I cut my expenses. So on the income side, I was working a couple jobs. I worked as a pension analyst as well as I worked as a financial journalist and money coach, and I was also a landlord on top of that. And I lived super frugally during that time. So I didn't go on any extravagant vacations, and basically saved as much money as I could and put every spare penny towards my mortgage.
And so you've obviously spoken about this. You have a book. We have the book right here. You've gotten a lot of people talking about this online, certainly.
Yes.
So what are people saying to you? Are most people in agreement with what you did or not?
Well, my story was definitely very polarizing, but in my book, I don't say everyone should pay off their mortgage in 3 years. That's just not realistic for most people. But what I do say is look for new ways to save money with your everyday spending, because, if you pay off your mortgage sooner than 25 years, maybe 5, 10, or 15 years, you can save thousands or tens of thousands of dollars in interest and enjoy financial freedom years sooner.
And so, for you, it took you not very long, obviously, to pay off your mortgage. Were you able to have any fun? I know some people are concerned about, well, where's the fun in all of this?
Well, I mean, I certainly had fun, but I was careful with my spending, and I still had that end goal at the end of the day. So one of the chapters in my book is about goal setting, and for a lot of people, financial freedom is different things. For example, for me, it meant being able to travel and work fewer hours. And I basically saw it as a short-term pain for long-term gain. I worked hard for those 3 years, but now I'm able to enjoy financial freedom for the rest of my life. So it's really about figuring out why you want to pay down your mortgage sooner, and that will motivate you to be mortgage-free, similar to me.
So do you have any tips? What are your main tips? In the book, you sort of outlined 25. What are the main ones?
Well, I'd say a lot of personal finance books say, you should give up the daily coffee and give up your Starbucks and your iPhone, but I don't necessarily agree with that. I say that it makes sense to look at the two biggest expenses after mortgage and rent. So for most people, that's groceries and transportation. So on the grocery side, you can save money by buying in bulk, buying in season, and buying on sale. For example, if you're shopping at the premium grocery store and you're buying cereal, you could go to a discount supermarket such as No Frills and pay $1 or $2 less on cereal and other non-perishable goods. And, you could save yourself maybe $50 or $100 a month just by doing that simple change. And on the transportation side, I didn't own a car myself, but for a family with children, it probably makes sense to own a vehicle. But instead of owning 2 vehicles, perhaps you could only own 1 vehicle. And that 1 vehicle that you do own, you could purchase a 2 to 3-year-old used car from registered car dealers. So it's about looking at the big picture of your finances without necessarily giving up the things that you love.
All right. Well, thank you so much. We'll take some of those in consideration. Giving me food for thought. Thanks for joining us today, Shawn.